time for us. I'm Warren's aunt, and probably you would say that I'm the most strict one of all in the family. I am, because I do care and I love for the kids. But Warren, I'm so deeply hurt of your passing. I don't know where to begin. My heart is heavy and numb to the core. I'm lost for words. My family is like a body. When family loses a loved one, it is as if they have lost one of their limbs. The contribution that was made by the family member that was lost can never be replaced. We love you. We're so proud of you. Life has not been easy, but you were a great father to your kids. And that's one thing that we would like to make sure that your kids will always remember. They are always number one to you. You've always been protective of us, just like your father. I find comfort knowing that your papa held your hand when you crossed over. Kiss and hug your papa and mommy. Tell them I love you all. Eternal rest in paradise. Here's my ode to you. Ease my heart. Let the time for the parting be sweet. Let it not be a death, but completeness. Let love melt into memory and pain into song. Let the flight through the sky and in the folding of the wings over the nest. Let the last torch of your hand be gentle, like the flower of the night. Stand still, O beautiful end, for a moment, and say your last words in silence. I bow to you and hold up my lamp to light you on your way. Thank you.
I'm speaking on behalf of his boss, Lori. She wanted to be here today, but unfortunately she couldn't make it, so here are a few words from her. I wanted to share a few of my thoughts about Warren. It seems like just yesterday when my oldest son, Tim, came to ask me for a job at my business, West Shore. He had just come through some difficult times and now he needed a job. I wasn't sure I was ready to hire Tim because he hadn't convinced me that he was ready to be a responsible adult and really work at a job, but I finally took a chance and hired him. A few days later, Tim came to me and said, "Mom, can we also hire Warren?" And I remember saying, "Who is Warren?" I had been asking this question for several months because Warren's name was always coming up. Who is Warren? This time my son said, "Warren is my friend and my roommate, and we watch out for each other. He needs a job." So how could I say no? But I did say, okay, Warren can work here and do filing for 7 days while he finds another job somewhere else. But only 7 days. Warren showed up the next morning wearing a dress shirt and pants. I have to say that back then, Warren and Tim both looked a bit rough to be working in an office full of women. In fact, I was pretty sure that the ladies in my office would be very uncomfortable working with two big, tough-looking guys. Well, Warren jumped right in and worked really hard and made friends with everyone in the office. On the 7th day, every one of my employees timidly knocked on my door one by one, peeked their heads in, and said, "Lori, can we please keep Warren?" They have all fallen in love with him and wanted him to stay. And so, what could I do? I offered Warren the job. It turned out that Warren was one of the best employees I had ever had, and over time, I discovered that he liked to hide how smart he was. First, I discovered that Warren was a writer, and he had impeccable spelling and grammar. Every now and then, I would catch him sending a message to one of his friends that was full of slang, but then he would write a perfect business letter. He was great at math, and he caught on lightning fast to the work we were doing in our office, a lot of which was legal. Over the next 4 years, Warren became our star collector, outperforming every other collector in our office. He blended in and was a friend to everyone. The girls came to him to talk about their boyfriend problems, and the guys liked to hang out on breaks. He was funny, and he let us all tease him a little about his girlfriends and his tattoos. He was a little bit cocky, and he was star. One day, he collected such a large amount of money from an insurance company that he framed the settlement agreement and hung it above his desk. Over time, I would tell Warren that I needed to hire a few more collectors in my business, and he would say, "No, Lori, you don't need to do that. I can handle all your files." And I would say, "Warren, you remind me of a rooster who's always chasing off all the other roosters in the coop. You have to learn to share." But in fact, he did cover all the files. Warren had also become a friend to my family, and from time to time he would stop by my house needing to talk. For a big guy, Warren could cry. He sought out my family during some tough times, and when things got difficult in his life, he would show up at my doorstep. Likewise, I knew that if ever I called on Warren to help me with a problem in my family, he would be there in a second. He looked out after my younger son, Jeremy, like a big brother. One other very fond memory I have. Warren came from a different kind of background. He liked rap music and crazy cars. Recently, he showed up at work driving a loud green car with shiny rims. And one of my kids told me that this car was the kind that could bounce up and down with hydraulics. I came outside and took one look at this car and said, "Really, Warren, do you never stop with the cars?" He was grinning ear to ear and started his engine so he could show me what the car could do. I was always laughing at him for loving these silly cars and threatening him that if he didn't behave himself, he would have to swap his car with my son Jeremy and drive around the old beat-up '84 Volvo. This last year, Warren seemed to suddenly be having a very difficult time, and more calling in sick at work. Since his father died in November, he was becoming deeply depressed and often came into my office and said he just didn't think he could get over it. He was in physical pain too. More and more, he was seeing doctors and winding up in the emergency room for problems with his heart. I was getting constant texts that he was having problems just getting through the day. It seemed that one thing after another was going wrong, and he was having a hard time just trying to stay on top of it all. Several months went by, and I didn't see Warren, but we stayed in touch. I was really worried, and in fact, everyone in the office kept hoping that Warren would get better and come back to us. We pretty much kept his big corner desk empty for him. Then a few weeks ago, I got the following text from Warren. "I'm coming in tomorrow, so please let everyone know the head rooster is back." I have no doubt that Warren really wanted to come back to work and to pull his life back together, and especially wanted to come back to be a hero again and do an incredible job for West Shore. Sadly, he did not have that chance, but he did have 4 stellar years of being a good father, a good brother and son, and an incredible employee. Not just other employees, but many of our clients were deeply shocked and saddened to hear of his passing. For all the times we talked about death, I believe that Warren loved God and waited for heaven. I also know that while we will not see him again in this life, we will surely be greeted by a smiling Warren when it is our time to enter heaven. And maybe he will even be playing a heavenly rap song for us at the pearly gates. Thank you.
On the left-hand side of the church. So if you guys want to come, thank you.
from Teresa. I will cherish all the memories we shared, both good and bad. You were so patient in the beginning, helping me through my fears and anxieties. You made me feel so safe and loved and showed me I could love again, something that I thought was impossible. We were at one time truly happy. There was nothing you wouldn't do to make me laugh or feel love, whether it be bumped and ingested beef or singing to me, or doing to me with goofball. You always knew how to put a smile on my face. Even though we ended, I'm glad we were able to find a way back to be friends. We both knew we still loved each other so much, but we were both so stubborn, and for that I'm sorry. I missed you and loved you more than you could ever know.
My solid and still straight great friend, one of my truest and dearest personal entities that became a part of my grown man family and your family that became mine. You're our familia. Something as you know, we don't take lightly. Never forget the fallen. We're never my grown man family and family that became mine. You're our familiar. Something that you know we don't take lightly, but never forget the fallen. But you are never dead to us, and always alive in our hearts, our memories, our past and present stories, and all of our lives as we continue to celebrate your life. We're always going to mean a great deal to me, bro, just to let you know. I've written this eulogy to share with you all what I believe in Warren and all the friends and family that he had touched. Warren, you were a dignified person, a sturdy and upright gentleman with that A-grade type of will not to be reckoned with. But the Pistons were shouting and smashing down the block. You just didn't test a powerful American-made, high-priced muscle car like you. But most of all, you are a super positive, unfailing force that inspired many to stay in the fight and keep fighting to enjoy life. That many of us take for granted, including myself, you enjoyed life, your kids, your family, your friends. You knew how to push, pull, and strive for prosperity in your life. I'm thinking your dad taught you that. You always believed in an outcome, whether it be positive or negative, you can call it yours. You kept moving forward to solid ground. You beat the system as it's in its correct game. Changed for stable order, maturity, character as a man, a father. And for your father, to recognize what he created in you was pure, unseparated, genuine. And had a pure heart. You were perfect. I admired you for your change represented, and you also told me one day in the past that you admired me for mine, and I was very proud of you. As a fellow dad and a parent, I always saw you with your children, and the unconditional love you gave to them was such a special sight. I can only imagine what your beautiful and handsome children felt and still feel. You are a top-of-the-line father, and only one that smiles in return. Now that's a rare quality, if you ask me. To Warren's Andrew and his daughter, please know that your dad's spirit will continue to love and guide you in the best directions of your lives. This I know of Warren and his love for his children ran through his veins now, and they will always run in yours. Warren's whole heart ran by his generosity and love for all he held dearest. And I know that deep love burst in every one of ours. You were such a talented guy, bro. And we, including I, admired you and your exclusive personality. You sure aligned in our connected chemistry. I know I've lost a friendship that I can never replace. Warren's personality was the type that flocked many friends. You just wanted to feel his energy because he had that superstar style and charismatic flair about him. You knew you were hanging with a real solid bro. No matter the circumstances, you always rose to the occasion. A fierce and fearless G. In conclusion, I saw you as a warrior of a man without any budge. You were always suited and booted with super fresh and fly style, but if it came to it, you were always suited up for battle. I honored you, Warren, for your loyalty as a fellow soldier, as we stood beside one another, not behind the lines, always in the front. Amongst our familia, I raise my glass to you in celebration of your life tonight, and smoke a stove, hoping to feel your presence or see your spirit appear as I exhale into the clouds, and I see you in now, and every day furthermore. This is a friendship I must remember, that I will continue to reflect on, because you, my boy, I hope will continue to stand by me, now as a majestic angel, a soldier angel of our Lord, and the highest Almighty. I love you, bro. As a homie and great friend, Joel Holland.
Hello, everyone. My name is Todd. Warren's cousin. I just want to say that love him very much. Even as a kid, I remember
showed me